Who is Aristotle? And now, what are some of his theories? And now, Aristotle, or the Greek Aristoteles, was born on 384 BCE in Stagira, Chalcidice, Greece, and he also died in 322 Chalcis, Euboea. Aristotle was an ancient Greek philosopher and scientist, and also one of the greatest intellectual figures of Western history. He was the author of a philosophical and scientific system that became the framework and vehicle for both Christian scholasticism and medieval Islamic philosophy. Even after the intellectual revolutions of the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the Enlightenment, Aristotelian concepts remain embedded in Western thinking. One of his theories is the organic theory of state. So, a mere glance over Aristotle's theory of state drives home an important point that is organic in nature, which means that the state is compounded whole. He was distinction between aggregate and whole. So the former means that different parts of a thing are juxtaposed together to make a unit, or the unity. So by their juxtaposition, the parts make a unity, but the whole. The polis or state is a whole. The state has several parts, but when they are put together, the unity rather will mean a different matter. So the state is not an aggregate of individuals. Its members are not atomized individuals related to one another only by the fact that they inhabit the same territory. Aristotle has said, the city or state has priority over the household and over any individual, for the whole must be prior to the parts. Separate hand or foot from the whole body, and they will no longer be hand or foot. So that would be all to the theory of state.
So ayun, magsimula tayo sa classification of state. Ang sabi, Aristotle 384 BC, 322 BC is a Greek philosopher and the father of Western political theory. He was a student of Plato and a teacher of Alexander the Great. Si Aristotle daw yung ama ng Western political theory. Estudyante siya ni Plato, pero nung namatay na si Plato, umalis na siya dun sa academy ni Plato. Meron tayong 6 types of government. He came up with 6 forms of government in which society could be organized under political rule based on the following criteria. Ngayon, meron tayong 6 type of government. Ang number 1 is monarchy, number 2 aristocracy, number 3 is polity, number 4 is tyranny, number 5 is oligarchy, and yung last is democracy. So yun, una nating types of government is monarchy. Monarchy is a government by one benevolent ruler who concerns the welfare of all people. Meron niyang 2 types of monarchy. Una is absolute and pangalawa is limited. Yung absolute, isa lang yung namamahala sa kanila. Lahat ng kapangyarihan is sa iisa lamang. Samantalang sa limited naman, yung pinakakapangyarihan ng para president nila dun is nililimitahan lang ng constitution. Yun. And samantalang yung tyranny naman, tyranny is a government by a selfish ruler who governs without law and looks after his own interest. Yung tyranny daw, iniisip lang niya yung sarili niyang kapakanan. Wala silang batas na sinusunod, and kung ano yung gusto nila, yun yung masusunod. Bawat individually. Ganun. Next is aristocracy. Yung aristocracy naman is consisted of people of noble birth holding hereditary titles and office. Ibig sabihin, pinamumunuan siya ng mahuhusay, at yung aristocracy daw, pinamumunuan siya ng magagaling at mahuhusay na tao sa lipunan. And samantalang ang oligarchy naman is typically a government controlled by a small number of people who distinguish themselves by wealth, family ties, education, and religious or military power. Yung oligarchy naman, pinamumunuan din ito ng magagandang tao at mabuting tao at mahusay na tao. Pero yung pamumuno nila is limited lang. Limitado lang yung namumuno sa kanila. Yun, dito naman tayo sa polity. Polity is a government of middle class which is more moderate and intelligent. Yung polity daw, pinamumunuan to ng matatalino at moderated lang na tao, ganun. Yung mga government sa kanila and yung mga tao sa kanila, puro karamihan is matatalino and sila yung nasa middle class. Sunod naman is democracy. Democracy is the rule of the mob or the poor which is controlled by government. Ibig sabihin, yung democracy, pinamumunuan ito ng sobrang daming pamahalaan. Katulad ngayon dito sa atin, ano tayo namumuno? Public tayo namumuno and tayo nag-decide, yung mga tao yung nag-decide kung sino yung mamumuno sa next generation. Ang sabi dito, Aristotle classification is based on Plato classification developed in his book Statesman. So yung influence ni Plato kay Aristotle is sobrang laki kasi nahikayat niya si Aristotle na gumawa ng maraming books and gumawa ng sariling academy nung namatay na siya. So yun, gaya nga nasabi ko, malaking impluwensya si Plato kay Aristotle. Tinulungan din ni Plato si Aristotle na gumawa ng monarchy, aristocracy, democracy, and other 6 governments. And lastly, sabi ni Aristotle, today we believe that a constitutional government based on the rule of law and representative democracy is the best form of government. Naniniwala daw si Aristotle na mas best pa rin yung tao yung i-decide kung sino ang mamumuno at mamumuno pa lamang sa next generation. Ganun, that's all po.
Aristotle makes a distinction between actuality and potentiality. He sees everything in this world as a mixture of these 2 principles. Like books, window, and apples. He would say some mixture of actuality and potentiality is found in all things, with one exception, and that is God. Aristotle observed that the physical world is changed. He said, all is flux, nothing is stationary. It is not internal, and it's not perfect. It's imperfect, and has flow.
So we have here the dialectical materialism. So dialectical materialism states that ideas and thoughts of human changes in dialectical process due to the movement of existence and matter. So when we say matter, it means yung mga bagay na nag-exist physically. So mga examples yun is, syempre tayo, obviously we physically existed. Yung mga gamit natin, yung cellphones, so it existed talaga physically. So dialectical materialism is not only a philosophy but also a complete way of thinking to explain reality. So since nabanggit natin na ang matter is yung mga nag-e-exist physically, so ano naman yung mga example ng mga bagay na hindi nag-e-exist physically? So example niyan is like yung thoughts natin, yung pag-iisip, yung consciousness natin, reasons. So yun yung mga few examples ng mga bagay na hindi nag-physically exist. So dialectical materialism, so we have understanding reality, whether thoughts, emotion, or the material world. Simply stated, this methodology is the combination of dialectics and materialism. The materialist dialectics is a theoretical foundation of Marxism. So, Diamat, for short of dialectical materialism, asserts that primacy of matter over consciousness. So, simple ang example nito. Dito sinasabi na yung mga thoughts natin, yung mga naiisip nating bagay, nabubuo yung mga thoughts na yun because of the behavior or movement of the matters. So, ito. For example, naiisip natin yung for example, yung war. So, bakit ba nagkakaroon ng war? Bakit ba naiisip natin yung war? It's because of the idea we get or yung mga idea na nakikita natin. So, and of the material conditions of existence over intellectual life. So, the conflict is believed to be caused by the material needs. So, yun example ng dialectical materialism. Next is, as well as known for Hegelian philosophy, ito naman yung opposite ng dialectical materialism na dito naman parang reason or consciousness over the matters. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga behavior ng matters o yung mga bagay na nag-exist physically, nabubuo naman yun dahil sa consciousness natin, yung thoughts natin, yung imaginations natin. So, nabubuo yung mga bagay na yan. Kaya yan gumagalaw, kaya yan nangyayari yung mga bagay na yan. It's because of our imagination or consciousness or our thoughts. So, here in Hegelian philosophy, there is the primary of consciousness or reason over matters. So, yan. So, basically, it is, yung Hegelian philosophy, it is opposed sa dialectical materialism na philosophy. So, in dialectical materialism, there is three laws. So, first is the law of unity and conflict of opposites. So, in the law of unity and conflict of opposites, ito yung pagkakaroon ng even hindi two, basta magkakaroon ng opposite na bagay pero still connected pa rin. So, for example niyan is yung gender. So, meron gender na babae and lalaki. So, obviously, it is an opposite gender. Pero, how can we say na connected sila? So, syempre, basically, hindi magkakaroon ng another human being or another life form without these two genders. So, then, pag nagkaroon ng unity sa dalawang gender na to, so, magkakaroon naman ng another life form which is magkakaroon naman siya ng sarili niyang gender. So, that is very examples of the law of unity and conflict of opposites. Next is the law of the transition of quantity into quality. So, example nito, you have a grain of sand in your hands. Then, so, syempre, grain of sand, parang konti pa lang. Then, over and over, you put another grain of sand. Then, tinambak-tambak mo pa ulit-ulit. Then, nakabuo ka ng pile of sands. So, that is an example of from a grain of sand to quality to pile of sands. So the law of negation. The law of negation is basically the opposition between other statement. Like the other one said I have a dog, pero yung other party or in the opposition sinabi naman na you don't have a dog. So that is an example of the law of negation. So ito, the law of unity and conflict of opposites. It states that all phenomena consist of mutually contradictory elements and that can change is the results of their internal contradictions. Next is the law of the transition of quantity into quality. It describes how quantitative changes always lead to qualitative change. Next is the law of negation. It is derived mainly from the first volume of Marx's Capital. Every stage of development of the private ownership of the means of production grows out of its predecessor and negates it. So that's all. Thank you.